Words, do-si-do is going to be fun.
Dude, couch is just...
At least I got it once. We've seen it.
Yeah. Oh, you?
I believe in this.
There's no one I'd rather sit there to do do-si-do than you.
15.
Bam.
Good? You live? Yes. All right. Welcome to AGDQ 2015, everyone. All right. So we have, like 150 straight hours of speed runs. No big deal, but we'll be here a while. So if you can't see all of it, we'll be here. Just keep coming back. All right, so we are doing this to benefit the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Last year we raised $1 million. This year we hope to raise even more. So first off, before we start the stream, I'm actually going to hand off the mic to Jan Bresch, the COO of Prevent Cancer Foundation. She just wants to say a few quick words to you.
Good morning. Everybody ready in this room? Yes? Everybody ready in this room? Yeah! On behalf of the Prevent Cancer Foundation, I want to thank everyone for their participation. Over the last 4 years, you have funded research in the prevention and early detection of cancer. You have funded community programs across the U.S. that are giving free screening and educational services to underserved individuals. And you've also funded a conference, a national conference, bringing individuals together to help us enlarge what we're doing in screening programs. This year, I have to say, we are doing a special grant for AGDQ that is a very novel approach to a biomarker study to detect cancer early, and it has to do with through obesity, and if this research works, it will be for both breast and for prostate cancer. So it will be all due to you and your services, and I can't thank you enough for participating.
So obviously this event wouldn't happen without all of you being here and all of you watching at home, but we also would like to give some shout outs to a few sponsors who made this event possible. Turtle Beach and Tiny Build, a game developer who made a cute game called Speedrunners. Quite fitting. They have donated money to be used for expenses that made this event happen with some of the equipment. And as well, we have the Yeti and Something Artistic, both doing sales on their sites. You can get links off the webpage, gamesdonequick.com. And then we also have this thing called a Humble Bundle, which is a ton of games you can buy for pay what you want. And also we have Twitch Turbo codes, exploit codes, and also some exclusive merchandise also provided by the Yeti. So if you go to humblebundle.com, we're actually on the front page there for the whole event. So you can pay anywhere from like $1 minimum, I believe, to $30 or more. And then the more you pay, the more you unlock. So what else do we have? We have right. Oh, and Twitch, of course. Don't worry, guys. I didn't forget about you. Yeah, all right. So obviously, aside from having the stream on Twitch, which is awesome, we also, any subscriptions we have, all the revenue, both Twitch's end and ours, goes to Prevent Cancer Foundation. So if you want another way to donate, do that. Also, World 9 Gaming has provided the practice room for all the runners here. So it's actually like the fanciest practice room I've ever seen. I don't know if we can get some shots on social media later in the week, but it's quite a step up from anything we've ever had. So huge shout outs to them. They brought like 50 TVs or something. So
wow.
So yeah, with that, I think I'll just hand it off to the runners here. Have fun, everyone. Woo!
All right, yo everyone, what's up? Welcome to AGDQ 2015. We are the Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze community, and I'd just like to say on behalf of all of us, we are honored to be kicking off this great event. I guess we can do a quick roll call before we jump into the run. Start with the runner.
So I'm Michael Goldfish.
This guy has the world record, by the way. Let's start from here.
Sup?
Yeah.
I'm Cruncha.
I'm Spike Vegeta.
Not so newbie.
I'm Ghoul02.
And yeah, with that, Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze, any of you who don't know, this was released in February of this year. It's the sequel to Donkey Kong Country Returns.
Last year, we're in 2015, by the way.
It's been like 5 days, I don't know.
Oh, we're already doing this.
Okay, this game is less than a year old. And yeah, it's the sequel to Donkey Kong Country Returns, the kind of reboot of the Donkey Kong Country series by Retro Studios. I hope you guys enjoy the music throughout this game. David Wise has returned. But in addition to the great music, there's also going to be some pretty sick speed tech here. So with that, real quick, Ghoul, do you want to explain why we're sitting here on the title screen instead of at the start screen?
So the beginning of this game has a 3-minute opening cutscene, and if that was all it was, we probably would go through it. But it also has a very inconsistent load. We've seen like a 20-second variation in the opening load. So rather than try to start it once on first input or anything like that, we just decided to start from the 1.1 map select as though it was a new file.
Right.
So
with that, I think we can go ahead and you can start your countdown, and then I'll hand it over to Cruncha to explain why we already have Cranky on our back. So
we're good to go? Okay, 3, 2, 1, go.
Woo! All right.
Okay.
It's up to you.
All right. So with that, Cruncha, if you want to explain why we already have Cranky.
Yeah, so we want to start this in 2-player mode. If you start in 1-player mode, then you have to start without a partner as solo DK. And Donkey Kong by himself doesn't really have a lot of great movement options. Like for this first part, he would have to swim through the water. Instead, with a partner, you can just kind of skip across. And we want to choose Cranky in particular because he has this special ability where you can bounce with his pogo throughout the entire level. Having a partner also allows you to do continuous rolling, as you'll see right here.
if you don't have a partner, you have to do these kind of stunted rolls and then jump to try to maintain as much speed as possible. It's still not even quite as fast, but it's just not quite the same.
And yeah, Newbie, if you want to explain real quick the difference between pogoing and regular rolling throughout the run?
Yeah, so you can, when you roll, you have to jump and roll normally because you don't have a continuous roll with no partner. But with the pogo, you can actually keep all your speed and momentum if you just continuously bounce along the ground instead of just rolling.
Right. And every time, excuse me, and every time you do a pogo, instead of starting up a roll, you save 0.1 seconds. So in any case where he has to re-land on the ground, he'd rather actually do pogos throughout.
Yeah.
And with that, it looks like Michael Goldfish had a pretty smooth 1-1, so that's cool. We'll go ahead and hand it off. We want to read a donation or two before we get to the next level.
Yes, I'd like to take the time to thank everyone who has donated so far, and I'm looking forward to all donations moving forward. So let's begin with some donation comments. Thank you very much, Atai Mesh, aka Fisherman Phone, for the $10 donation. My mom never really understood video games, but thanks to me, she definitely recognized Zelda music when she heard it. And her 7-year battle with cancer was certainly worthy of the Triforce of Courage. Thank you very much, Sebastian Torvaldsen, aka Thorwaldsen, for the $100 donation.
Don't play.
We said simply save the animals.
Whoops. So you'll notice that I'm dropping player 2 here. That's because, as you'll see at the very beginning, I had to go left to pick up Cranky. You have to do that because both players are actually active and start as like separate characters so they can both play. So I drop player 2 as quickly as I can, just so I don't have to pick up Cranky again.
Yeah, we're kind of so you might have thought it was weird. We actually started with 2 players. This was a co-op run, I'd like to say. I did a lot. Made sure the Wiimote didn't die.
The reason we don't drop before doing 1-1 is we try to do nothing that you could do if you didn't start from a new file. So your options when you start a new game are you can do single player or you can do co-op, and your co-op player can choose a partner. And that's pretty much it. We don't start with any extra tokens, any extra lives, anything that might make it seem like a New Game Plus.
That was sketchy, but that's okay.
That's okay.
Don't worry about it. Cranky's not really that good at swimming anyway.
Yeah, so in all, starting with Cranky instead of starting with Solo DK saves about 4 real-time seconds. That water section out right there would have actually been done with Diddy and been, what, like 4 or 5 seconds faster?
Like 4 seconds,
Yeah, it's about 3 seconds faster to do 1-2 with Diddy, but it's about 7 seconds faster to do 1-1 with Cranky.
Right.
And all the characters have different abilities. So Cranky's got the cane, as you've been seeing. Diddy and Dixie both have a hover ability. Dixie's hover goes a little bit higher. And underwater, they each have separate abilities as well, which we'll get to later.
We also had to start with player 2 because in the first 3 levels, the buddy barrels are set to specific Kongs, so you can only get Diddy Kong in 1-1.
Yeah. In a lot of ways, this is kind of almost the tutorial world. 1-1, they give you only Diddy. 1-2, they only give you Dixie, which we actually don't use until the very end, usually. And then 1-3 is where they finally give you Cranky. So this is where, whether you want to do 1-player or 2-player, which is kind of player preference, this is where the routes kind of meet up, is at this first Cranky barrel.
You'll see Cranky's abilities here, like bouncing on spikes. There's a section where you get to climb here. You'll see Cranky's pogo sends you pretty high up.
We are Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah.
So you can see right there, with any other Kong, that would have taken much, much longer to climb. But since Cranky gets to his max height very quickly, he scales anything vertically very fast.
This is it. Yep.
So what I just did there is what we call the God Pogo. It allows me to just do max pogos through this whole section without having to really think about it.
It's pretty precise. Usually we just sacrifice 0.1 second at one point in that little section.
Yeah, most people don't even go for it, but I'm silly and do.
What we mean by max pogo is there are different pogo heights. So you'll hear us say max pogo or minimum pogo a lot, and the idea there is that the minimum pogo is the shortest possible pogo you can do, and the max pogo is the longest. So we have a lot of what we call pogo routes, where this is how to get through a level quickly and easily and safely without actually having to really think or react on the fly. So.
Thank you very much, Neil Lofthouse, for the $20 donation. Hey guys, love what you're doing here, making sure to get everyone watching at some point. Thank you very much, Brandon Cruz, aka Twisty May's Little Passage, for the $1,000 donation.
Wow. Nice.
Yeah, already going early. All right. Total hype. I love the speedrunning community. There are 52 choices, but why wait? You rooted, so we hit the best week of the year first. Shoutouts to everyone stepping up behind the scenes this year. Put this to Yama's choice, or at least to a big get well soon Mike. For those who don't know, the main event organizer for this, Mike Yama, has been sick for the last couple of weeks, so we would like to wish him a swift recovery.
Barrel skip.
Barrel skip?
Nope.
Never mind.
Scary.
Almost barrel skip.
It saves like 0.1 second.
Yeah, it's not a big
but
deal
it's
at
cool.
all. There's actually a super difficult version of that barrel skip you can do with Solo DK that you would have to do in the time attacks. So I guess that's a function. I don't know, Crunchy, if you want to explain time attacks. This guy right here, there are 63 levels in this game. He's got 11 IL world records for this. No biggie. So if you want to maybe explain kind of the benefits of time attack.
Yeah, so by the way, IL stands for individual level. We'll be referring to that a lot. So when we talk about IL strats, that's basically the most difficult strats that you could do for a level, like YOLO strats basically. Yeah, so.
Yeah, so.
The game's got it set up so that the time attack mode, you can watch all the replays and see the top times in the game itself. So you just have to connect online and then you can see all the best runs of each individual level.
I remember seeing a review of it that was like, oh, it's not a big deal, no one's going to use that. And it's like, these 8 people are going to use it a lot.
That's how we figured the game out, basically.
And also, just to explain here, so you might think, okay, this is an auto-scroller, there's nothing to this. These are actually some of the hardest levels in the game to optimize from a speedrunning standpoint. All the jumping he's doing, that's not just screwing around. Jumping uphill saves time. When you're going downhill, you want to jump to basically maintain this slightly faster speed, and for whatever reason that maintains it. You don't want to jump on top of still crates and platforms, because that actually slightly pushes you back. So yeah, there's a lot of little frame savers throughout the 2 minecart levels in this run. And with that pretty much brings us to the end of the auto-scroller. You want to jump in, Butters?
Sure thing. Thank you very much, Maxime Buchman, for the $50 donation. Hello from Switzerland, guys. Hope you're all ready for this awesome marathon. We were waiting for so much time already. I'm following those events since the start, and every time is fantastic. Work hard and enjoy this moment. And thank you, Salvatore Iusolini, for the $60 donation. Let's reach $2 million. Gotta go fast. Kill the animals. Greetings from Germany. Yes, just a reminder, we have people watching from all over the world. We even have some restreamers. We have a French restream, a Spanish restream, and a German restream. So shout out to all our international viewers. And shout out to all our international runners. This is truly a worldwide event.
All right, so first boss of the game. One of the 11 IL world records Cruncha has is this boss. He's actually pretty good at getting the boss ILs. You want to explain a little bit about what the tech is in this fight?
Sure, yeah. So first of all, like much of the game, you want to have Cranky on this boss and pretty much all the bosses in this game.
That's so sick.
You saw Goldfish do a nice jump off of the walrus on the side and onto the fish. That's one of the frame-saving strats that you can do here. I think it saves probably about half a second every time he pulls that off. See if he can do it again here.
Nice.
Super too.
Yeah, that's good. It's very, very precise. It's really hard to do.
Other than that, you mostly just want to hit him, hit the seal as soon as he gets down, as early as possible.
So coming up here is one of our favorite strats in the game.
Oh man.
It's called Early Fat Ass Number 2.
Creative names.
So yeah, that's get hyped for that. It's pretty cool.
This community has a lot of fun naming strats. We'll kind of go through all of them as we get to them. This is kind of the first.
We're trying to match the Super Metroid community in name titles.
I think we do pretty well.
We're doing pretty good. Just a note, not to put the pressure on, but he does need to make sure he doesn't lose Cranky throughout this fight. Otherwise, the next few levels.
Don't worry, I only have one heart. We got this.
There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there are no cranky barrels in the next 2 levels, and there are some there's a very, very quick strat in 2-2 that you want cranky for. So you can't die or lose cranky at any point in the next 2 levels.
Nice. It's okay, you guys.
So with this section, I also want to hit all the enemies as soon as I can. So we have a super crazy setup, so I can hit this fish at the very top.
Yeah. No ghost fish.
There's a little.
Yeah, it's cool. Yeah.
Early Fat Ass Number 2. There it is.
That's it.
If I go a little bit too early, the fish at the very top slowly loses his hitbox, and then I have to just sit there waiting for him for about 7 seconds.
Yeah, we call it ghost fish.
Yeah, ghost fish is the worst. After Rambi. Rambi's terrible.
Nice.
So that's World 1.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, so thank you for the claps, but yeah, so World 1's kind of dull as far as speedrunning goes. Goldfish and the rest of us, I think, agree that 2-1 is really where the run begins. World 2 kicks it up pretty hard, so there are actual pits in this world.
Yeah.
There's ways to die, so... yeah, again, it's going to be super important that he keeps Cranky all throughout this level because they only give you a Dixie barrel in this level. Now, in the IL of this level, which again stands for individual level, as Cruncha mentioned, you actually use Dixie throughout it because there's one cart that you can skip and save like 6 seconds, 7 seconds, something like that.
It's a 3-second total time save for the level to use Dixie instead of Cranky.
Oh, okay. That's it? Okay.
It's just
Whatever
one
it
large jump, and you'll see it at one point where Goldfish has to wait on the cart instead of just being able to jump off immediately.
And it'll look absolutely terrifying, don't worry.
It will still look insane. He's going to jump off at the first possible moment.
So you'll notice that the levels start having giant pits now. That's how you know it's the actual run. And this is going to be scary. I'm going to have to granny this.
That's okay.
To note about the cycles in this game, most all of the game, probably over 85% of it, is camera-based. Meaning once you get close enough, then the platforms and all the enemies will start moving. So generally the mistakes you can recover from. A level 2 levels from now is universally cycled. We'll talk about that when we get to it.
There is one thing that is always universally cycled. Whenever a barrel is rotating between the different Kongs, it's about a 1-second cycle between Diddy, Dixie, and then Cranky. Every second it'll switch. Those are universally cycled from the very start of the level.
Oh, nice. It's so scary.
So it was kind of subtle there. You might not have noticed it, but he actually had more speed coming off that because he jumped before he actually reached the end of the platform. And that's where a lot of the interesting speed tech for this game comes from, is that you can actually basically combine your momentum with like a moving platform or sometimes tornadoes.
Or,
yeah.
Like,
also, this level has 21 goats in the background. Shout out to NKB.
NKB.
Shouts to NK. Wish you were here, buddy. All right, so 2-1's pretty cool. There's a lot of places he could have died there, but he handled it pretty well. 2-2 kicks it up an extra notch, especially when you're learning this game. This is the level that will wall you, because it really introduces, it was kind of optional there if you really want to do it. Now the whole storing momentum from swinging platforms, that's actually a thing in this level.
Yeah.
So
when you have a massive amount of momentum when you're going forward, if you just land on the ground and roll or start walking again, you lose it all. But with the pogo, you'll see with the cane, you can store it all for basically as long as you can possibly keep pogoing.
Right.
So we'll see if he gets the really big one first.
So this is the first instance we see Rambi, our only animal buddy in this game.
Yeah.
Rest in peace on guard.
Outside of Squawks, but that's not really quite the same.
Oh yeah, no.
There he is.
Yay.
So does anyone want to explain the whole running with Rambi pogo stuff?
Do you want to?
Wait, the running?
Yeah, like losing.
Oh, right, yeah. So you'll notice that it's kind of entertaining, but you can actually still bounce with Cranky's cane even when you're riding Rambi. It's a pretty strong cane, I guess.
Love it.
Yeah, and you want to do that as often as possible because
Nice.
Rambi's startup for his charge when he's running is actually a little bit slow. So every time you have to land and restart the charge, it costs about a quarter second or so. So you'll see a lot of bouncing here.
So right here coming up, we have 2 huge momentum boosts. The first one is a bit shorter, and we'll see if...
A lot harder.
I got this.
Yo,
There we go.
nice.
Okay.
That was
A lot of times we'll pull up on that one because this next one saves so much time.
Yo, wow.
Oh!
No! Saved it.
So to know, there is like he could get all the way to this section right here, but those were some swag backup straps.
He saved it.
Yeah, so what I did there is similar to Super Mario World. Sorry. Where you can jump off Yoshi to save yourself. We do the same thing with Rambi because he's the worst.
It gives you just a little bit of height in a couple of sections, and it has saved a couple of runs where we would have died otherwise.
That was decent. That was still very good. You had the first boost. That was...
All right, so we continue on with World 2, and it does not let up. This next level is pretty brutal in that it is the first universally cycled level. Everything is based on the music, so if he makes one mistake throughout the level, he has to change everything he does throughout the rest of it. So let's see how he does.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you very much, Dark Sim, for the $100 donation. Great to see another GDQ event. A new year is not official until AGDQ. Hope everyone will have amazing runs and spectacular glitches. My challenge to all the viewers is to break your own PB. Donation PB. Get on it. Thank you very much, Steven Scudier, for the $50 donation. Hey guys, can't wait for a week of great content. I've watched for the past couple of years, but first time donating, and good luck to all the runners.
So even taking that small hit there will change some of the cycles a little bit. Hopefully he can adjust to it. Sometimes it gets tricky. It's good.
Yeah. There are, to note, 2 routes through this level. There's a cranky route that's about 2 seconds faster, and there's also a Dixie route. The advantage of the Dixie route is that mistakes don't matter as much because the Dixie route is entirely cycle independent. And if Dixie makes a mistake, she can use her flutter double jump to avoid falling into a pit. So this is actually, despite that mistake, this has been a fairly clean 2-3.
Yeah. Nice. Jeez, that's close.
There we go.
Inside of this, there's a nice little audio cue that we like to use to make sure that we jump at the just the right time. So
Yeah, it's a bit later on.
it's a little bit later on, but just
Thank you very much, the Seawolf1, for your $50.
Sorry about that. Still got it.
Nice, still got it. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. You can probably read it.
All right, and sorry, yeah. So the next level is an auto scroller. It's all the same stuff we mentioned in the last one, where you want to jump up hills, not land on platforms, and jump off of down slopes so you can maintain that speed. And go for it, Butters.
Thank you, the Seawolf1, for your $50 donation. You guys and gals have fun over there. Good luck on all the runs. Poverty limits me to Yeti and this donation.
Really good answer.
Well, I'd like to give some special shout-outs to some of our sponsors, if that's okay. Shoutouts to Tiny Build Games. Tiny Build Games is an indie developer morphed into an indie publisher. They partner up with indies across the world to help better their games as well as develop games themselves. Check them out at www.tinybuild.com and check out their game Speedrunners, available in the AGDQ 2015 Humble Bundle. Speaking of which, Humble Bundle. Check out the Awesome Games Done Quick bundle on humblebundle.com. Pay what you want for up to 9 games, a Twitch Turbo subscription, a subscription to XSplit Premium, and exclusive merchandise, all while supporting the Prevent Cancer Foundation. That's www.humblebundle.com. Also, shoutouts to the Yeti. The Yeti is a t-shirt site featuring an awesome new design every 24 hours for a low price. The Yeti has partnered with us for AGDQ 2015, offering an array of shirts with $1 for every unit sold going to the Prevent Cancer Foundation. Check out the collection at www.theyeti.com/gamesdonequick.
Shoutouts to David Wise once again for coming back to do the music for this game. And yeah, you can keep going with donations if you want throughout this.
Very good. Thank you very much, Shock Spectre, for the $25 donation. Been looking forward to AGDQ since the last one ended. Lost my grandmother to cancer a while back. We used to play Mario together all the time when I was a kid. This one's for you, Grandma. Thank you very much, Quiet Kitten 12 for the $50 donation. You guys are amazing. Good luck on the runs, and let's crush last year's donation total. Team, save the animals. For those that don't know what people mean by save or kill the animals, a very popular donation war that we have every year is for the ending of Super Metroid, whether you choose to save the animals or go for the fastest route, which is to let them die.
This.
So that's what's called the Granny Hill. These jumps right here become like frame perfect practically if you jump up that hill. So we choose not to jump up that hill.
For some reason, they set the cycle up so that it would make it a lot harder to make every jump on that.
Right.
Sub 20.
Sub 20.
Sub 20,
okay,
nice. No riot, no riot. We good.
There's a big joke in the community that we try to get sub 20, which basically means you are perfect through the first, or through this point.
Right.
So.
Another big joke was the coughing fit we had in the previous
Oh,
level.
yeah. In our weekly races, we often just, we cough when you're at the audio cue part on Skype call so that you get screwed up.
All right, so you might be sitting here like, dang, is this like Cranky Kong country? We've had him the whole time. We actually do have uses for the other Kongs. I'm going to hand it over to our president of the Dixie fan club, Ghoul02, to explain the uses of Dixie.
So Dixie's tech is she has what we call the flutter, which it works as sort of a combination of a double jump and Diddy's jetpack. It is the unfortunate side effect of completely obsoleting Diddy. Sorry. So you'll see anytime there are these wide gaps, we'll use Dixie because she stays in the air longer than Cranky, and she gets the same height, or max height. So the general idea is that any level with large gaps, Dixie is generally slightly faster than Cranky. But anything that requires vertical or anything where you have to maintain momentum for a long period of time, Cranky is going to be faster. Diddy has his own speed tech, but we will see that coming up shortly.
Yeah. Yeah, so Diddy fans, that's coming up. And also, Goldfish, you want to explain this new tech we figured out in the last, like, two weeks?
Yeah, we realized that while you're bouncing on these flower things, if you keep holding the run/grab button, you actually go through them faster. And we don't know why. But it's a thing.
Yeah.
The IL's probably been using it since, like, day one, and we didn't know.
Yeah. That also applies to when you're doing hovers with Dixie or Diddy in general, is that if you hold the run button, you'll be hovering faster.
It's a little bit scary because there are a lot of times where we don't want to grab things. And if you hold the run button while you're near anything, you will actually slow down, which can throw off some of the stuff you're trying to do.
Yeah, such as those swinging green vines seen earlier.
So I guess if we want to explain the next level real quick, the next level is basically a glorified auto-scroller of sorts. There is some platforming in between sections, but he can't speed up the vine section. He wants to switch to Cranky midway through the level, because Cranky slightly speeds up the last vertical section of the level, saves like a second or two, but you really want to get him for the next boss. Again, Cranky's pretty much the preferred Kong for almost all the bosses. So with that, I'll hand it off to Butters if he wants to read donations during this level.
Of course, but first I'd like to take a chance to plug Banjo-Kazooie 100%, which will be coming up, let's see here, about an hour and a half.
80%, right?
It's any percent right now, but you can donate towards the 100% run. We are currently at $565 of 1,000, so go ahead and get that in, people. Thank you very much, Jess the Great, for your $50 donation. Watched so much of this on YouTube. Been waiting for 6 months for AGDQ 2015. I actually took a week off of work so I can watch it. Glad to be able to finally donate. My mentor was diagnosed with prostate cancer last June, and thanks to early detection, he is now totally cancer-free. Thanks for all the good that you guys do.
This is the first time, this is actually the first level where the barrel cycles are going to matter. So you're going to want to pick up the cranky barrel, but it's actually rotating all 3 Kongs. So there's a certain time frame that you need to go and grab the cranky barrel. This is going to be a big deal later on in some really difficult levels. So here he has to wait for cranky. It's virtually impossible to make that first cranky cycle. That's going to be a lot more relevant in some later levels in routing what Kongs are being used.
Dude, this coin count. What are you doing?
So to reference, this run used to go to the in-game shop where you would spend banana tokens to buy a couple items to make one boss much, much, much safer. We weren't sure that it was actually viable RTA to not use those items. So if you see us referring to, a coin count as we were going, we used to try to get about 90 to 95 tokens as we were going through the run. Some of that is RNG, but for the most part, we could pretty consistently get that, and that would allow us to buy some items for later on.
By the way, throughout that whole level, you saw him spinning before he jumped off the vines. There's no real speedrunning reason for that. It just looks kind of cool.
Yeah. This guy is just crazy.
Thank you very much, Anne Moran, for the $75 donation. She says, "Go Michael, Joe is watching."
Woo. Yo.
All right, so this is my personal favorite boss in the game. He's, I think, just a really well-designed boss, and the speed tech for it is pretty cool. And unfortunately, he is super-duper punishing. So we'll see if he's able to get this. All the bosses died in 9 hits because of Cranky giving you that high vertical jump, or vertical, as opposed to a horizontal jump.
Yeah.
He's able to pick up these eggs, the ones that still have the egg tops on them, and get up and hit Scowl a little faster. So every phase is really bad about only giving you 3 eggs, and then you have to go through another cycle to get more eggs. So he's got to be perfect, and he's usually not very careful with these.
Oh my god, it's so scary. You can actually kill the eggs with the cane if you're not careful there.
Yeah, so every time I jump off of one of those hoots with the eggshell on them, I have to make sure I press A after I already land, otherwise I'll kill the bird and not be able to grab him.
Yeah.
So
if you accidentally kill one of those birds, in the first cycle it's 40 seconds lost. In this cycle it's 20 seconds, and in the final it's a punishing 1 minute and 10 seconds.
Because he has to go through a whole other cycle again.
So this is the hardest part of the fight. He's got to make sure all 3 of these eggs are on screen before he hits the first one, which makes it scary because
nice! That was great. Yeah, that was so good.
Oh, wow. You might have noticed there that second egg that was just sitting on the ground. If he was just a little bit slow, like a half second later, then the egg would have despawned and he would have lost the 20 seconds. So, also we just want to explain real quick, again, we're throwing out a lot of these speedrunning terms. Again, IL, as we mentioned a couple times, stands for individual level, or the time attack feature in this game. RTA actually stands for real time attack, and that's kind of a full game run in one sitting of any game you want to do. As opposed to, some people do segmented runs. That was the thing of the past. I don't know.
Yeah.
Good
In-game
RNG?
timers and stuff like that.
God.
So I just want to note, most everyone else in the community uses super safe strats here. We lose 5 seconds on this boss compared to Goldfish. So part of why he's the world record holder for this game.
Yeah.
So it is possible to finish this fight about 3 seconds earlier or something like that by hitting Scowl at the same time as you hit him with the egg, jumping on him. So you get 2 hits at once basically, but yeah, it only saves 3 seconds and you lose that minute 10 or something for the last phase if you get it wrong, so
don't do that.
And it's very precise. It takes a perfect jump and a perfect drop.
So that was a very, very solid World 2 by Malcolm Goldfish. So
amazing.
very good.
About 27 minutes.
Yeah, that's any sub 27:30 is very solid, and he had a 27 flat. A 26 is god tier. So, all right. So any Lion King fans out there? Here's your level. Asibenya, Jibbaji Jigaja. I don't know.
Yeah.
So yeah, Newbie, do you want to explain a little bit about the universal cycles in this level?
So this is just like the 2-3 as well, where all the cycles are based on the music. So all the moving platforms that you see dancing around and that kind of stuff, it's all based on the music. So what ends up happening is you want to reach certain points of the level at certain times, or you're going to lose a lot of times. You can make a small, like let's say, half a second mistake, but it could end up costing you something like 7 seconds in the end if you don't make the cycle correctly, because you have to wait anyway. You'll see with the first big... nice, that's good, yeah. You'll see with those zebra things in the back and stuff.
That puzzle piece is 100% required to beat the game. It actually locks you out of the final boss if you don't get it. There is no misinformation given during this speedrun.
So he made that first cycle. Now we're going to go to the second phase, where he's going to make these moving snakes. Same idea, so you just want to reach the snakes at a certain time.
Okay, so there is a super duper dumb strat. You can do it at the very end of this level. Shoutouts to Mumu Akai. Sorry you couldn't make it, buddy. Mumu Akai is generally known for finding some crazy strats for this game. Somehow you can actually, with Cranky's pogo, just pogo off the top of these snakes. Like this one right here, and then the next one. Saves like frames. That's how he got the IL world record. But yeah.
Previously, the IL world record here uses Dixie, and there is a set of routes. There's a route through this level that I use that uses Dixie instead, because instead of that like 1 in a million chance of getting the 7-second time save, you can save about 3 seconds with Dixie at the very end.
Yeah, you'll in general hear that a lot throughout the run, so sorry, we know there's probably a lot of Dixie fans out there. She was by far the most popular character to use in casual play, I think, for most people, but you'll hear us constantly say, so this used to be a Dixie level, now it's a Cranky level. This used to be a Dixie level, now it's a Cranky level. She lost part of one of her levels to Diddy, so that's how bad it's gotten. So, but there's still going to be a decent little mix of Dixie later on in the run specifically. The first half of the run is very Cranky heavy, so...
Newbie, would you like to talk about flower strategy?
Flower strategy? It's really close, but there's enough space and enough frames for you to actually jump on this one piece of a flower corner at a random point to save you having to climb up a whole bunch more flowers. It's pretty cool. You'll see how close it is.
In this flower section here.
So right there, yeah, okay, you got that. Yeah, it's actually a really awkward setup, but it works out when you get it. So that skips having to bounce on all those flowers up there.
And I also just want to explain one more quick piece of tech, anyone who might have came in late. So you're noticing a lot of pogoing that he's doing. Every time he uses a pogo, instead of starting back up a roll, he saves 0.1 second. So you kind of want to find as many places to use that instead of starting back up a roll. However, some places you pretty much have to do it.
Oh, I got the worst. Here's what we're going to do.
I agree with this. I agree.
It's worth it.
We want Cranky here.
We need Cranky for the next
There's something
level.
very important coming up. We're going to need Cranky.
So that's fine.
Yeah, so some of you might be sitting there like, why would he die? You want Cranky for the next level.
Yeah, we're going to see some stuff with Cranky here.
And the reason why he lost Cranky there was because Cranky was still on screen when he broke the Cranky barrel, so it glitched out and it didn't give it to him. Yeah. Shoutouts to a sloppy baobab.
Sloppy baobab.
Yeah, this was the sloppiest of baobabs. I apologize.
It's all right. You nailed everything else.
The next level is going to use the momentum that we were talking about earlier in a bit of a bigger way, too. You'll see.
All right, so
it actually looks very nice.
After the next level, we'll let some donations get in. But coming up, this is the craziest trick in the entire run. Yeah. It's called Tornado-Si-Do, and again, Newbie discovered this and handed it off to us. So again, I'm going to hand it over to Newbie to explain a little bit of why this stupid thing works.
So you saw the momentum on the platforms earlier in level 2-2. There's a similar kind of momentum in these tornadoes you're going to see coming up. They either go left or right, and if you jump into it the opposite way, it actually slings you backwards and at a really high speed, and then we're going to use Cranky to keep as much of that momentum as possible. It's extremely difficult. I can't even do it still.
The way the momentum boosts work, if you touch the ground for more than a quarter of a second, you drop back down to normal top speed, but because Cranky's pogo is so instant, or Kane is so instant, you can maintain that as, for a long time.
So let's see.
No, sorry.
That's
that is
hard.
By far the hardest trick in this game. So that's not surprising. Goldfish is actually incredibly consistent at it. It took me like 8 hours to get it the first time.
Yeah. I've never gotten even as far as he's gotten.
And the world record by Goldfish is very, very good. Good jump there.
Yeah.
The world record by Goldfish at 1 hour, 32 minutes, 55 seconds is very, very good. You don't need to hit Do-Si-Do, but it saves like 15 seconds if you're able to get it, so it's a pretty big deal. One thing I'll go ahead and throw out there, another feature I don't know if we mentioned about the individual levels or ILs for this game or the time attacks, is that you can actually, if you own this game, you can actually connect to the internet and watch replays. All of our names are actually all over the leaderboards. Self-plug, awesome. Again, Crunch has got 11 of the 63 IL world records. Goldfish has a bunch. So yeah.
It's got a cool feature as well where if you have friends with the game that you're friends with on your Wii, you can actually watch their times as well. So we've had a lot of fun even in the community of just going back and forth, even just, oh hey, by the way, I beat your time on 2-3. You might want to go back and try to beat me again. So
Yeah.
I definitely recommend going and watching Goldfish's world. He has the world record for this level, and it is truly insane.
It's very different from what I had to do there,
Right.
to say the least.
The world record stood at 122 for more than half a year before that strat was discovered, and now Michael has it with a 107. So
Pretty big time difference. With that, the next level is, I don't know, it might look cool, but yeah, it's really not that bad. There's one strat we can explain at the end, so I'll go ahead and hand it over to Butters for some more donations.
Thank you very much, Jock MS, for the $15 donation. The
Hey,
Dawn
Doc.
Closet has gotten really quiet since you guys left. I hope you're having a great time and awesome games, and don't feel too bad for leaving me alone with NK and Moo Moo. Really, I'll be fine, probably. Michael, I hope you get the most powerful of Do-Si-Dos, the sloppiest of Babs, and the most divine knob anyone has ever seen.
We're 1 for 2 so far.
Thank you, Jock.
Thanks, Jock.
Well, good luck with your run. Hope you have an amazing one, and show the world what Tropical Freeze is made of. And remember, if anything goes wrong, always, always blame Moo Moo Akai.
Yeah.
And newbie, please get good. Love, Jock.
Thanks, Jock.
Moo Moo, why'd you kill Do-Si-Do for me?
That's great.
Also, I didn't have to grab that N, I just did for fun.
Thank you very much, Moonfane1, for the $20 donation. It's exciting to see AGDQ again, longtime supporter, and I love the redesign. Can't wait to see more amazing runs.
So because he took a hit earlier there, normally we would just try to blaze through that section where the fireballs fall from left to right. And it's about, I don't know, 50-50 with the setup we have.
It's pretty dope.
Whatever setup we have, I don't know.
I'm going to call it RNG.
Yeah, it's really finicky on getting through that or not without taking a hit, so.
We also skipped the shop. We should probably talk about that.
Oh, yeah, so we skipped the shop.
I think I like to say for 10 out of the 11 months this game's been out, we've been using the shop. And it's only been recently that Crunch have figured out a consistency on this one boss.
Yeah, we'll explain that strat once we get there. But essentially, you can go to the shop. All those coins he's been picking up, those are the currency of this game. Essentially, every 15 tokens, you can buy one of the desired items. A Diddy barrel, a Dixie barrel, a Cranky barrel, which you can bring into the level. Once you don't have a Buddy Kong, that'll automatically snap to you. But banana juices, which give you like 20 seconds of invincibility. So right there, he could have gone for a really, really, really dumb frame-perfect strat if he was perfect in the intro cutscene skip and just like perfect movement getting over there. You can actually get what we call the God Cranky. Once again, as you notice, the barrels rotate in some of the levels between Diddy, Dixie, and Cranky, and each of the rotations takes about 1 second. It's actually possible to catch the last frame of that Cranky barrel, the one before he caught, saving 3 seconds, but if you miss it, you get Diddy, and you're forced to kill yourself because we're actually going to be using the secret exit at the end of this level. It's actually about halfway through this level you actually use secret exits, so that's cool. You cannot get to it with Diddy. You can get to it with Dixie or Cranky. So since it rotates from Cranky to Diddy, don't really want to go for that strat.
We grabbed Cranky because he's used in the next level. We would have to wait for a barrel if we use Dixie to get to the secret exit, as well as Cranky just being slightly faster to get to the secret exit.
Yeah. Right. And also to note about rocket barrel levels in this game, I want to give a quick shout outs to Miles SMB right here.
Yeah.
The first true frame war of this game was over this rocket barrel level. When you're actually in the rocket barrel as opposed to the minecarts, you don't actually save any time by doing anything. Like Michael can swoop up and down all over, doesn't matter. So it was how quickly you could pause buffer, getting the rocket to explode and start moving.
I did not pause buffer that.
Shoutouts to Dark Spine Sonic for introducing pause buffer strats.
Yeah.
So when you get into it, the barrel literally just explodes in like a frame. So it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, the idea is that you start the rocket before the level can actually start, so that big gate doesn't actually get a chance to open. You just crash right into it.
All right, and with that, here we go for Bramble Scramble. If you want to fit in a quick donation real quick.
Thank you very much, Hard, for the $100 donation. Good day from Australia, 3 a.m. here. Finally managed to catch GDQ live for the first time. Love what you guys are doing. Keep up the amazing work.
Shoutouts to Crunch. I believe you still are tied with Nia Xing with a tied IL record in this.
Didn't you beat him?
Last month.
Oh! Nia Xing, for the first like 8 months this game was out, was like the god of ILs in this game. He had like, felt like he was just picking them off as he went, like half the ILs.
Yeah.
We've slowly taken them back.
Nice.
By far the trickiest part of this level are those little flower bounces where you can maintain all your speed if you do a correct boost, and the windows for those are pretty tight. Also, because he took a hit here, he'll probably just elect to lose Cranky at the end of the level. Shouts to
Strats.
I used to use a really dumb setup through that entire section.
Yeah, the way I found end strats is I was trying to learn from Spike's video, and I was like, this strat's super stupid, I need something better. And then I jumped at the end, and it kind of just worked out.
Real quick, what end strats are is we roll down to the end there in order to, it's just, you roll down to the end and then jump, and then you just do full pogos the rest of the way. It's a free setup that always gets you into the barrel at the end.
Yeah, me and NKB both independently found end strats, and then just met up, and we're like, whoa, you do end strats too?
Actually,
Crazy.
I got it independently as well.
So not a big deal here. That's going to lose him about 2 seconds because he has to wait for the Cranky cycle here to rotate to him. In general, the rotating barrel cycles, they feel like they set them up to screw you over. They were like really bad for the first like many months you were doing this. There are a couple levels coming up later on that they just set up perfectly if you play perfectly throughout the entire level. All right, so 3 boss. Again, this is another Cruncha IL world record. You want to explain these idiots?
Sure. So, once again, Cranky is absolutely required here because he's the only one who can bounce off their heads when they're swinging down with their hammers like that. You can see they have horned helmets on, so it's not a problem.
Real quick, the way this boss works. I was say, you want to explain how the boss works?
Go ahead.
This boss, you have the 3 different monkeys. Every time you hit them, you'll see that they drop in color from being a very dark blue to becoming a much lighter blue. Every time you hit a monkey 3 times, it dies and it moves on to the next phase. So the goal is to eliminate one monkey each time as quickly as possible.
Crunch, you want to explain how this works?
There's a lot of RNG in the second phase here, mostly just with how quickly the baboons will come down. They didn't come down right away, so he got kind of bad RNG, but he dealt with it pretty well.
Oh, man.
This game in general is pretty good about not giving you too much bad RNG. This is definitely the antithesis of that statement. These idiots can waste like 15, 20 seconds if they just stay high up on the poles. So,
I love the grab walk.
coming up is my favorite strat in the game.
Kobe!
Phil Mickelson! All right, so to just explain about this hit right here, Cranky's the only one who, again, can hit this. That's like the eggs off the first boss of DKC2. That can infinitely give you the hammer, which you can't kill with anything but Cranky. It's a 50-50 chance after the first time, so pretty awful.
If you have lost Cranky there, you have to wait until he gives you a pattern you can hit him with.
Phil Mickelson!
Yo!
All right, that's World 3. Nice.
Nice, yeah.
4140.
Thank you very much, Outer Side, for your $100 donations. Greetings, everyone. My mother was diagnosed with breast cancer twice in her life and beat it both times, so I'm more than happy to donate to help research in the field. Huge props to AGDQ for doing this.
All right, so, okay, what you guys are about to witness, probably, oh, the water world. This is probably the worst speed world, right? That is completely wrong. This is the coolest world in the entire game. I think both casually, it's probably frustrating casually, I don't know. But speed tech-wise, this world is crazy. It's got some of the coolest levels. We'll kind of explain them as we get to them. But, hey, guess what? Diddy's in this game. So, yeah, I'm going to hand it off to Newbie to explain why Diddy is actually good.
So, every character has above water abilities and also underwater abilities. Cranky's ability is his cane, so you can whack his cane around and kill some stuff. Dixie has a hair twirl that can get you through really strong currents you're not supposed to get through otherwise. And then Diddy's jetpack allows you to boost through the water very fast. So we want to use Diddy underwater basically as much as possible, as you can see here.
Yeah, anyone who hasn't played this game casually, Diddy, like, you are moving so fast compared to any other Kong movement.
Yeah, in the ILs, if you were to do this level, let's say, with Cranky, it would probably be about 15 seconds slower overall, which is huge.
On top of that, while you're underwater, it's a lot easier to bonk into something and just kind of make any mistake and hit a wall and slow down and stop.
Good fat ass, thank you.
So a lot of these are very, very difficult to optimize. Oh my gosh.
That's insane.
So we have a visual cue there for if you're real good and real fast. That's if you see the Diddy cycle of that rotating barrel.
That was like half the Diddy cycle.
I know, I was like, is he going to get Diddy on accident? This is so early. So again, you might be wondering, all right, so why are we Dixie? Is again, just as Newbie explained, this little hair twirl she's doing right there is the best way to get across the currents. It's the only intended way to get across these currents, which we need in order to get to this secret exit right here. By the way, shout outs to Retro for hiding that one really well.
I had to look at the guide for this one the first time.
Yeah.
It was super.
I just spent like an hour doing this level over and over again looking for it.
So there are two routes you can take through this world. I mean, not two viable routes, but there are two routes you can take where you can go through either 4A and 4B, which Goldfish is going to be doing, or you can go through 4.2, 4.3, and 4.4. Going this route roughly saves about 4 minutes. So yeah, it cuts a whole level, and one of them is an auto scroller, so it definitely makes sense. And this level is like super short, even though the next level is trash. So with that, I'm going to hand it over to Ghoul, who loves this level.
This is the coolest level in the run, in my opinion, for one reason. You use all three Kongs at one point during this. You start with Dixie, you switch to Diddy at the first barrel, and then at the last barrel you have to switch to Cranky to get to the secret exit quickly. So originally we didn't do this. We would just start with Dixie, we'd get through it as quickly as possible, we'd switch to Cranky, and we would just keep going. However, I played around in the IL, or again, the time trials for this a lot, and I found out that maybe it was possible to do the beginning of this in a way that allowed us to get Diddy. As you saw right there, that was a very clean start.
Yeah, which is speeding up this water section quite a bit.
It speeds up this water section enough where we actually beat a cycle we get to this barrel right here 2 seconds faster.
Nice, good.
So.
And now we're able to take a secret exit here with Cranky.
Coming up here is one of the few strats I developed. Someone else would have developed it if I didn't do it, but it's called Nan strats. I didn't come up with the title though. And we'll explain what that is here in just a second. You want to touch the Nans, pogo, pogo.
Yeah, nice.
So with that was a perfect foray.
Yeah,
that was sick.
That was very good. That end looks really scary, but it's actually very safe.
Yeah, it's quite easy. But it looks cool, so.
All right, so we're going to get over to some donations. Just want to explain this next level. It's lovingly called
Tropical Keys.
Yeah, this level's pretty trash.
Poster keygasms.
Yeah, so the sad thing is that normal route there, 4.2, 4.3, 4.4, are three of the coolest design levels in this game, and some really cool speed levels, even if one of them is an auto scroller, because there's so much tech to it. But yeah, 4B here, we're going to go find some keys in some rooms, unlock some other keys, and we'll get through the level.
The one thing that is funny about this level is that every runner has died here by drowning, and it's a 3-minute time loss if you die right at the end of this level.
Yeah, so
there are no
don't do
checkpoints.
that.
There's an underwater meter.
And so once again, he had to start here with Cranky because he couldn't get to the secret exit with Diddy. So he's going to have to wait a cycle here to grab Diddy. And with that, he's going to swim real fast and get through the level. So go for it.
Thank you very much, Free Den, for the $20 donation. I am a cancer survivor, and so I'm very happy to donate what I can to help. Thanks, guys. Thank you very much, Logan5, for the $50 donation. Greetings from Germany, my first live AGDQ. Just watched archives till today. Good luck to all runners and have fun. Thank you very much, Aaron Jevlis, for the $250.43 donation. First time watcher donator, and will likely be donating again later on. It's awesome to be watching live for a change. Speed on, guys. Thank you, Lance Charleston, for the $20 donation. Just beat Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze's final boss to save myself from being spoiled by this run. It's also good to see speedrunning games for charity again. Save the animals. And by animals, I mean the Kongs.
No. Okay. That's okay.
So I guess to explain a little bit of the text of this level, there are certain transitions where you'll see he's kind of spinning at the end. Does someone else know how to explain that a little better than I do?
Instead of doing the jetpack, you'll do the Y, basically the roll button, which does that little spin animation.
Breaststroke,
It's generally how you would move with any Kong other than Diddy.
You do it through each portal because for some reason when you exit a portal after that, it seems like it keeps your speed. You don't have to start up and wait for the animation to do the jetpack again. It just allows you to do it right away. So you try to do that as much as possible. So there's a little spin.
Thank you very much, Data Gnome, for your $100 donation. Here's for another awesome AGDQ.
Oh no, he's gonna get you! Oh. Yeah, the shark just loses interest for whatever reason when you get to that door, so.
Yeah, that was a good keys though.
Yeah. Nice keys.
Nice keys.
We got God Red Key, so we're good.
All right, so coming up.
Oh yeah.
This is my favorite level in the game. This level's sick. Time for the strong dong. So.
Oh, here we go.
Let's see what happens.
Let Goldfish do his thing here.
This is, in my opinion, you got the do-si-do level that we talked about earlier, which is the dumbest trick in the game. I think overall this is the second hardest level in the game.
Second or third, depending on.
Second or third, depending on
It's top
however you
3.
rank
It's
it.
very difficult.
It's top 3, whatever you want to rank it as.
There are a lot of very, very precise tricks that you have to nail in this, and any mistakes will cost a lot of time or a death, so.
Borrow that bomb.
Swag bomb throw.
Nice.
To note, that didn't hit the wall. It actually hit the penguin in front of the wall, and the penguin was close enough to where it blows up the wall. That bounce off that penguin as you grab the bomb is actually super precise. So nice that you nailed that.
Good.
Right here, we got a little bit of stop and wait. But if right here, he's going to grab this bomb at the very highest point. That saves just a little bit of time because it starts the fuse quicker.
Got past Dick Poker. That's okay.
That's a very tough jump.
This level is massively difficult. So these backups, they are possible, but they're very difficult as well.
So one of the most punishing things about this game is that when you die, you lose your buddy Kong. So I have to do this whole section solo DK now.
The rest of us usually go a little safer there, so.
Right into the top one.
Nice.
That was good. Yep.
Into the quad knob.
Not sure why that works, but if you fire right as that finish is going across on that spin, it'll actually fire you up into the top barrel instead of the...
It's because when the two-banger is spinning, instead of stopping pointing horizontally, it actually flicks itself pointing upwards a little bit, which is when you have to shoot upwards.
Crate skip.
Crate skip.
Yo, nice. Oh my god.
That seems like 2 seconds, but it's super
It's
scary.
sweet, yeah.
Yeah, the
That was still
intended
really good
route is
overall.
just to break the 3 crates and get to the bottom, but since we have Diddy for the next level, we can just not break them in crate skip.
Yeah. All right, and so with that, this next level, while it might seem like a lot of swing, this is one of the top 10 hardest levels in any percent, without a doubt. Cruncha really refined this level quite a bit, so I'm going to hand it off to him to explain a little bit about how the level works.
Yeah, so I'll explain kind of piece by piece as we go along here, but pretty much Goldfish is going to want to do this level perfectly because all of the barrel cycles line up perfectly if you don't make any mistakes. And if you do, the barrel cycles are about, they're twice as long as they are on land. So you have to wait about 6 seconds for the next one.
No pressure.
The Cruncha, you have the IO world record for this, right? Do you want to kind of go over a little bit as it goes?
I actually don't have it anymore, but yeah, but you want to damage boost through those because it takes too long to wait for them to go away. You have to hit those knobs really fast to open this gate.
Ooh, that's okay.
Yeah, that bonk will make it a little bit difficult to get through, but still made it.
That was close, yeah.
All right, so he bonked a couple times. He may still be able to make this Diddy cycle. We're going to find out right now.
Nope.
All right.
That was a swag roll into that. Because if you miss that Diddy barrel, you can't go back. Oh.
That was close.
Yeah. And this section is extremely difficult. It's very easy to bonk off of any of these walls and corners. But
wow.
Got through it really fast.
Got through that
yeah.
pretty much perfectly.
So because I messed up early on, when I get the next barrel, I'm actually going to have to wait the 2 seconds. because it's an underwater barrel cycle.
It's again, it just kind of emphasizes how this game, tiny itty bitty mistakes turns into like multiple second time losses.
It's very rare to have just a 1 second time save in a level in this game. Usually, if you look at our PBs and stuff, we'll look and say, okay, I can save 5 seconds here, 6 seconds there.
And you want to have full health going through here because you're not going to not take damage through these electric vine sections.
It's a lot faster to just go straight through that. So even if you could get through it easily without taking damage, it would be a lot slower because you have to go around.
Yeah, it's still faster than the 6 seconds it would take at most to get your Diddy barrel.
All right. And if you want to jump in with one quick donation before we explain this next boss, because it's pretty hype.
Well, one thing I want to say is we've already raised over $25,000 combined from Tracker and Humble Bundle, and we barely gotten started, so good job.
Wow.
All right, so for boss, once again, this was why we went to the shop. There's a really, really dumb strat where you can sneak behind Fugu and hit him with Cranky's cane. We thought we needed banana juices, which gives you invincibility frames to get through that, but Cruncha found out something else.
All right, so the reason we thought that this was impossible shopless is that, well, not impossible, but extremely dangerous, is that we thought that once you lost Cranky, then the fight is pretty much over. Like, we thought that you would just get bodied by this boss with solo DK and die and lose tons of time. But it turns out that I was messing around with the IL and discovered that you'll notice that he dropped a heart when Goldfish hit him just now. His heart drop rate for when solo DK hits him is nearly 100%. So ideally he doesn't want to lose Cranky, but you'll see right here, even if he does, it's a little bit slower, but he can just go ahead and continue.
This is really scary too.
So each time I get one of those hearts, it's not actually 100%, it's about 99.99.
It's possible you won't.
We've only gotten not hearts twice total.
It's also a bit scary because those hearts can miss you and you won't get them on occasion.
I'm so scared.
I know.
There we go.
Oh, nice. The whole time, my heart.
If you did that boss without that strat, it would be about a 2-minute fight.
Yeah.
With that strat, it becomes only about a 40, 50-second fight.
I don't know if anybody's with me. That boss took me like 45 minutes the first time I fought him.
Yeah. Also,
Shoutouts to Fugu. I want a beach ball of him.
yeah, we were thinking of getting like beanbag chairs shaped like Fugu. Just like watching them squish.
They would have spikes on them? All right.
Oh, man.
Well, they'd be like mushy spikes.
Oh, sure. No, I'm with you. I'm on your journey. All right, sick. So you might think that losing Cranky here would slow down the beginning of this level. It actually, he'll have to change his strats up a little bit, but it's exactly the same. He wants to switch to Dixie on the first barrel and then switch back to Cranky on the next barrel. I don't know if you want to explain. Goldfish is a big fan of this level, so if he wants to explain.
Yeah, I really enjoy this level. So it used to be all Cranky until I did the IL for it and got second place behind NK's NK bounce. But the idea is that for that section I just did with the flutter, and there's a big gap that Dixie can cross. She can do it faster than Cranky, who has to wait.
And he's got to be essentially perfect through this section to get to this Cranky barrel in time. And
yo, so good.
In the IL, it's unfortunately not possible to do that, which is a very... IL barrel cycles are 1 cycle ahead of what they are in the actual game, so...
One of the cool little customizations about the ILs is that you can actually pick which Kong you want to go in with, Diddy, Dixie, or Cranky.
Moo, I'm trusting you.
Oh, wow.
All right, so to explain that little cart, you might have noticed the platforms are kind of raising up near the end. If you land on the cart like too far back, then it doesn't start the cycle for the platforms that are rising up and down, and the cart will just fall off and you'll die. For a while there, we just did little hop strats to make sure that we wouldn't die there, but then Mumu said if you land on the right side, you don't die. And that was a really good 5-1.
That was
so
amazing,
that's
very good.
another difficult level.
That's definitely one of the harder levels also in the run. It's in the top 10 hardest levels, I'd say.
Yeah.
Very challenging.
Goldfish disagrees.
Well, yeah.
The rest of us are like, this is the hardest level of all time.
It's very easy to death cycle in that level where you continually die, especially if you lose Cranky in that very end section.
Right. And with that, 5-2 is another barrel, rocket barrel level. Can't really save any time, except for the very end. It came up with a strat that saves like 0.1 second. But with that, again, I'll hand it over to our one and only Butters BB for some donations and some plugging throughout this.
Yes, well, just as a reminder, you're currently watching Awesome Games Done Quick 2015, I'm sorry, 2014 just ended. Awesome Games Done Quick is a Games Done Quick event held every year in January featuring members of the Speed Demos Archive and Speedruns Live communities. Speed Demos Archive is your premier source for high-quality speedruns and information on all your favorite speedrunning games if you want to get into it. And speedrunslive.com is the best site to race video games online against other players of all skill levels. For more information about Games Done Quick, you can follow @GamesDoneQuick on Twitter and see information about the event at GamesDoneQuick.com.
Don't need it.
I guess one tiny thing to note is in Donkey Kong Country Returns, you died to 1 hit. In this game, they made it 2 hits. So I think Goldfish is doing return strats here, challenging the game's level design. And that we can get back to donations.
All right. I would like to thank Marcus Person, a name that may be familiar to people familiar with video games, also known as Notch, for the rather ridiculously over-the-top generous donation of $10,000.
Wow.
See, good thing I took damage.
He leaves no comment, but I think the donation speaks for itself.
It's your speedrun lovers.
Yeah. This is scary.
We do get to see a little bit of the dynamic over-the-shoulder camera angle that Retro Studios put into the game. We sadly skip out on a lot of the levels that do this in the any percent route, but yeah, I mean, it's cool. It's a thing.
Yeah, I think in World 5 and 6, the game actually really ramps up the difficulty. So starting with 5-1, the next few levels are pretty challenging as well, and then World 6 is really hard, even casually and speedrunning wise, I'd say.
So we do weekly races of this, just to note, every Thursday. We're real bad. Oh, don't do it. The water's actually a lot closer than it looks there, so. Also, shouts to my strat.
Here it is.
Yeah! Normally you have to wait for the barrel to come down a little bit there, but that saves like 0.1 second. So
yeah.
That's like my second contribution to this game. So yeah. But no, yeah, we actually have anybody who's thinking of maybe getting into speedrunning this game, which I definitely recommend. It's really easy to get into. Again, all the individual level time attack replays are there for you to watch. And they're really cool. Again, like we're all part of it, and we're a very inviting community. We do Thursday night weeklies, starting at about like 10:30 Central Time. I think is when we do. I don't know. But yeah, if you guys want to come in and join on that, it's really fun. We invite people of all skill levels. And with that, here's 5-3. Cruncha and Michael Goldfish, who have the #1 and 2 RTA times in this game, they've been trading this level back and forth for quite a few months now. If you want to explain how you kind of refined this level.
Yeah, so this was one of my very first world records in the individual levels, and it's one of them. We're getting to that stretch where there are a lot of levels that used to be just Dixie levels, but we discovered that this one is actually faster using Cranky throughout the first part of the route.
It's one of the rare individual level runs where we actually switch Kongs in the middle of it. There's not a lot of them where the barrel cycles line up very well. This is one where we do start with Cranky and then we switch to Dixie at the very end to save a little bit of time. So. Oh.
That's okay.
Eaten.
There we go.
Yeah. I love how many people, when they play these games casually, have no idea that you can. They just think you're dead. You just take a hit there. But if you press the pound button, or if you just like.
You get Dixie anyway, right here.
Or if you have a Wiimote nunchuck, if you waggle real hard, then you get out of it. So. All right, so even though he lost,
there we go.
Shoutouts to Cruncha for just randomly finding that you could step on that ledge. So, and as you can see, Dixie is required for that little jump. Cranky cannot cross that gap, obviously, and she actually also speeds up the very end of this level as well. So Dixie still got some uses in the game, but shoutouts to Ghoul. Sorry, we've slowly cut her from the route.
I have been trying to inject Dixie strats into the run whenever possible, and it just doesn't work out very often.
Yeah.
That was good still.
Yeah, if he doesn't have Dixie there who can get that sort of height, then you have to wait like 8 more pieces of fruit. It's really stupid. You can't jump at all.
Thank you very much, Beat Katano, for your $500 donation. I still don't understand why Twitch is broadcasting other streams during AGDQ. Keep up the good work, guys.
Good point.
All right, so 5-4 here. So this was a level that was heavily influenced, to a certain extent, I guess, by us using the shop strats early on. This is another level where, spoiler alert, we're going to use the secret exit at the end in order to get to 5B instead of 5-5, which is roughly 20 seconds faster if you know how to do it. If you don't know how to do it, it's quite a bit faster. But there is a water section in the middle of this level where you want to use Diddy for, because again, Dixie's the fastest underwater. So what we would do is we would bring in a Dixie barrel here, switch to Diddy right here, and then switch it back to Dixie at the very end of the level with our barrel. What makes this level super scary is if he loses Diddy, if he takes 2 hits at any point, which is very possible in this level, then he has to do the Jamboree. Shoutouts to 5-5, cool level. And what makes this possible, because you think Diddy wouldn't be able to get across the little current that's supposed to be Dixie only, there's a cool little piece of speed tech where if you alternate back and forth between Diddy's jetpack and Donkey's breaststroke, then you'll actually keep gaining. That's really hard to do, by the way, that bomb throw. You need to be fully done with your roll animation before you can pick anything up, so you had to be like as far back on that platform as possible. Something really subtle, but I don't go for it. Goldfish is really good at it. Shouts to Mumo Kai.
Down right strats. If you hold down right when going to the water, it lets you swim right away.
But yeah, so again, like as you can see, this section just goes a lot faster with Diddy. At the very end, again, he's going to be alternating between the jetpack and the breaststroke so that you, for whatever reason, you never get pushed back and you're constantly pushing forward. And you can actually get through in the unintended way to keep Diddy and get through the entire level with him. So let's see
right
if we can
here.
get it.
Yeah.
So see, every time he uses the jetpack, he inches forward just a hair.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's
that was good.
very
Yeah.
good.
Oh, and diagonal strats out of the water.
Yeah. Another perfect level, so nice.
Very good. Holy cow.
Thank you very much, Alex T, for your $250 donation. Congrats to all the organizers and streamers that are coming together for such a great cause. And my apologies to my coworkers in advance for sucking up all the company bandwidth watching AGDQ this week. Also, shout out to Twitch.tv for hosting this event. And just as a reminder, if you subscribe to Twitch.tv/GamesDoneQuick, 100% of the proceeds will go to PCF, which is the Prevent Cancer Foundation, an organization dedicated to research, education, and outreach for the prevention of cancer. And you also get a bunch of snazzy marathon-related emotes for Twitch.tv.
So there's no reason why this shouldn't be a Dixie level, but we took another one from her. It actually makes the level slightly slower at the end, but by grabbing the cranky barrel on cycle here, it actually speeds up the next level slightly. So, and this is another level that's super punishing. There's a lot of 6-second cycles here, meaning any small mistake equals a 6-second time loss because of universal cycles later on in the level.
Yeah, this is another one of the very rare levels that does run off of universal cycles. So.
Thank you very much, Crossbow, for the $100 donation. Managed to catch us live. Great to see us going strong.
The shaft.
So right there, if he took a hit or slowed down at any point, he would have gotten hit by one of those spikes on the sides. But since he went through that pretty perfectly, he gets through, no problem.
There's no point in just blasting through those barrels with taking a hit because you have to wait for these cycles. It's actually one of the few cases where it looks like the normal run of this level. Also, shouts to that hop.
So good.
Oh my god.
That hop wasn't just him derping. If you want to explain it a little bit.
So when I do the little hop there, the barrels are slowly moving towards, or they stop and then move to the left. And so I have to delay my jump a little bit so that the barrel can move to the left enough that I can get in, but doesn't move too far so that I can still get to the end barrel right away.
Again, we can do one quick donation before we do 5-6.
Thank you very much, Bing, for your $100 donation. Hey, love the event and been watching since 2012. Wish the best of luck to the runners and hope we beat last year.
So Goldfish is the king of 5-6. If you want to explain it at all, I'm a Babby and I use Dixie here. So
Ice physics.
Ice
We get to
physics.
see it.
This level's pretty sick.
Yeah, there's a lot of boosting in this level. Cool, you can explain.
I was going to say, with Cranky, this level becomes a lot more about the momentum preservation. On ice, it's very easy to add to your speed by using, like, for example, sliding down that hill. It's actually very subtle. But when you're on ice and sliding downhill, or when you take a hit off this watermelon right here.
Yo, nice.
Right there.
Oh.
Yo, that's good.
I just want to say he is a man for going for that with one heart left on Cranky.
So just little things like that on ice levels mean that it's very scary but very fast. So they're actually a lot of fun to speedrun. So here's another one of those big speed boosts that you can keep by getting that initial push and then rolling.
He took a hit earlier, so he had to slow down right there instead of boosting through that because he wants to keep it for this last section. Ice physics.
Yeah, you can see how fast you're going in that section. The setup.
The setup. What?
So good.
So that's the main reason Cranky's faster for that level.
That setup is so good.
Michael Goldfish came up with that strat himself.
Yeah, like less than a month ago.
Yeah, I was one of the few people who was like, no, just use Dixie, because if you don't do that section fast, it doesn't matter. Like, Dixie and Cranky are almost the same speed. Now I'm an idiot, so it's no difference there, right? Okay, cool.
It's actually almost runner preference at this point, though, because Dixie is slightly faster for the previous level. So it's very, very close.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of just runner preference that you can use throughout this, not just in what Kongs you use, but also routes you take through the levels. That's why it's really cool to sometimes like pull up a multi-twitch and watch our races, is that everyone's doing different stuff, taking top routes, bottom routes. It's pretty cool. But yeah, here's a World Fight boss. I think this guy's real dumb. He's by far the longest IL of this game. It takes like the average IL for this game is probably around 1 minute and 10 seconds. This idiot's like 3 minutes, 9 seconds. So they made him take way too long. All right, so he got bad RNG here. Let's see how he reacts to it.
Still good enough.
It might have been fast.
I think we're good.
I think we're good. It's random whether that bomb is going to be nice. Okay.
Okay.
So he mitigated the bad RNG essentially. So that little hammer swing he did there for the third hit, that's actually intended to be the second hit, but because he hit him before he ever started the animation with that previous bomb, he was able to skip him ever doing it all, and then the AI still wants to do that. What makes it hard is that it's random whether the bomb's going to appear in the third ice block or the fourth ice block, and there are 4 total ice blocks. So the fact that he got it in the fourth one, he had to react very quickly, and it might look kind of mundane, but actually landing on the block, breaking the block, picking up the bomb, and then throwing it at him is a lot trickier than it looks because of the ice physics and because both pounding and rolling is mapped to the same button. So a lot of times you're like, all right, I'm totally gonna break this block, roll off the block into the bear and take a hit. So yeah, thankfully he didn't do that. And Cranky makes this boss look dumb. So.
Yeah. You're really mocking him in this run. Cranky.
There's another, like, that doesn't sound stupid, a random piece of RNG, which stands for random numbers generator. It's just randomness within runs. It's random whether he'll jump 5 or 6 total times in this phase, but you can't mitigate that. You lose about 4 seconds if he does it.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Too good.
He has to get off, unfortunately, because the fastest way to hit him, you have to kind of be in the right position.
Yeah. The cane is, in fact, stronger than the spiked hammer.
Yeah.
Also, Gould, do you want to explain just like this little nuance about the level? It's pretty sick.
Yeah, if you haven't noticed at this point, this level's background actually slowly rotates in 3D. So as it moves, if you like watch the little ramp in the background, you slowly see more of it until it's like completely sideways. It's really, there are a lot of little details like that in this game's graphics. Also, we're playing baseball right now.
It is technically RNG if he throws that little changeup on the 3rd, 4th, or 5th block. It doesn't really affect the time, but yeah.
We think it might be a tiny frame slower if he gives you the changeup on the last one. But
right, because after he does the changeup, the last 2 are fast. So he's got to hit one more ice block bomb throw. I don't know. I'm making up the tech names on the spot.
That was perfect boss. Yep.
Yeah.
112-17.
I would like to give a special shout out to the over 100,000 viewers watching across all.
Wow, that's crazy.
So that is, of course, combined between twitch.tv/games.quick, as well as our restreams, the French restream, twitch.tv/officiel_jvcom, German restream, twitch.tv/germensch restream, and Spanish restream, twitch.tv/the Mexican Runner.
So, Michael Goldfish, what's your average viewer count?
Like 6. 6 on a good day.
This guy's incredibly consistent at this. I definitely recommend everyone go follow Michael_Goldfish. He's a really cool streamer. Also, the Yoshi Story any % world record holder, so that's pretty cool. That being said, 6'1" is
Here we go.
balls hard.
Of course he went for it, yeah.
Okay.
You want to explain that? Yeah.
Yeah, so there is another one of those time trial strats where you bonk off the top of that bear and go all the way to the right. It saves a couple frames, but it looks ridiculous. Not that that doesn't look ridiculous as well. This stage is also one of the most punishing stages in the game. From this point on, he has one heart on Cranky. If he takes any hits at all, the end of this is very slow and very risky.
Yeah, like right here, he can't pogo up to get there. He has to go all the way around, which is super slow.
That was good.
This strat does not work at all.
Oh, nice.
So as a result of when we discovered the trick where we bounce off the polar bear, which we call affectionately the banana slamma, we found that trick with Crunch. We call it, what do we call that one? Like, I don't know.
Nice.
Good.
Basically,
Nice.
yeah, it's very good. If you keep your speed off of that swinging platform, you actually don't lose it as soon as you grab that. It allows you to sneak underneath that before the platform falls.
That's one of the, I think, 5 hardest levels in any %. He absolutely nailed it, so that's really cool.
Goldfish has a world record on that level, and this one coming up.
This level,
This is a good
when
one.
we used the shop, this was, I think, pretty much universally the last level that was really super affected by going to the shop. We would bring in a banana juice, which again, after you get hit, it actually gives you 20 seconds of iframes. So if you screwed up this first half of the level, it didn't matter. You do not want to lose Cranky on this level because the end becomes super slow, and so does the next level, 6-3. So good luck to Goldfish on not taking a hit here.
This was another one of those, previously it was a Dixie level, because we thought the skip at the end was really only doable with Dixie, and getting through this level with Cranky was originally a nightmare.
To note, the water hurts. So.
Yes. So, anyways,
nice.
this is actually one of the few things we...
That's okay.
Through Miiverse of all things, a poster by the name of Extreme Sexiness managed to actually find a Cranky route through this level, so...
Best random name out of anyone who plays these games. There's a small setup there to where you're not going to get hit by those blue hoots. And this is the section that Cranky speeds up quite a bit. You normally have to wait in this little auto scroller section there for like 40 seconds. It's real dumb. So.
Nice.
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 Very solid. It's really easy to take a hit there.
And again, I just want to mention the subtle piece of tech there. Every time he pogos or uses a cane bounce, instead of starting up a roll, that saves 0.1 second. So just kind of keep that in mind as he's going through all these levels, instead of just rolling everywhere, which might look the same speed.
Plus, when I was rolling down hills, if you jump while you're on the hill, it's the same with the minecarts, where you have a little bit more speed than just rolling.
And this level gets a lot easier. There's a lot of jumps that are much better and possible to go for if you start with Cranky. With that, I think this is probably a decent stretch to read some donations.
Very good. Thank you very much, Dracinius, for the $100 donation. This is my first time donating for GDQ. Better late than never. Thank you to the speedrunners and everyone else involved for the time, effort, and funds put towards such a great cause. Thank you very much, JFDK. Thanks for the $50 donation. Watched all the VODs of past GDQ events. This time around, I get to watch it live. Thanks for everything you all do. Thank you very much, That Blind Guy, for the $50 donation. Started watching this last year, and it got me into speedrunning. This event is amazing. The cause, the runners, everything. Keep up the good work, and let us have a Saturday dinner of BBQ etiquette. Thank you very much, Taktika, for the $50 donation. Hey, runners. Shouts to everyone from Finland. Heletka Tasi. Loves me some Taspot hype.
off the screen.
This level's a bit weird because there are shoutouts to whenever you're near anything DK can grab. If you hold the run button, he'll reach out for it. So it's kind of funny there. But this is one of those levels that it's really weird because the barrel here is not a rotating barrel. It's just a pure Diddy barrel, and Diddy cannot get through that last section quickly.
It felt like the developers were like, we got to the end of the game and realized, crud. There is no Diddy in this game. We need to force him on you, and he's the worst Kong for that level.
Yeah.
So we call that the Diddy of shame. If at any point you have to grab a Diddy barrel because you don't have another Buddy Kong, we call it a Diddy of shame.
Yeah. All right. So with that, just to note about this next level, it's the last auto-scroller of the game. It's relatively long. They don't give you hearts in this game, or in this level. So if he takes a hit early on, then he's going to have to play like 2 minutes without getting hit. And there's some pretty tight corners he has to go around. And the very beginning of this level, there's what we call the God Pogos. They're pretty close to pixel perfect, so let's see if he nails them or not.
Oh. Nice.
Oh, nice.
Very good.
Very good. Nice. Yeah.
It's cool to note that he's doing return strats again.
So again, there are no hearts for the next 2 minutes of this level, and there's some pretty tight corners.
Oh, he's taking the hard route too. Oh no. What's cool to note is that this game, this last world, is actually based on the world from DKC Returns, the entire Donkey Kong Island, obviously. So each level in this world is based on an entire world from the other game. So this is the auto-scroller level, based on the entire auto-scroller world, basically, of Returns. So every level has that in it, which is kind of cool.
Yo, Chad, can we see some tryhards?
Yo, this is...
And with that, for the rest of the auto-scroller, let's go ahead and hand it over to Butters for some donations.
I don't know if I can watch this.
Thanks, Ellen, for donating.
Thank you very much, Wolfgang, for your $50 donation. Thanks for everything you do, and this for all those affected. Much love.
Just to know, I told everyone on the couch that I wasn't going to do this.
Also, shout-outs to that bat in the background. That was like we call him the big purple turd. But yeah, because he was a turd when you played him against him in Returns. That was the most frustrating level for a lot of people. So yeah, that's a thing.
Oh my god, I can't deal with this.
Thank you very much, Jay Gankitano, for your $50 donation. First time donating to a AGDQ event. I'm excited to be a part of it live this year. My girlfriend's father passed from cancer, so my first donation will be made in his memory. I'm putting this donation towards Kingdom Hearts 2.5 because it's her favorite game. I'll be donating again later to handle those pesky animals. Good luck, and may the RNG gods be in the runner's favor today.
Oh god, I can't deal with this. I can't deal with this at all.
He's gonna go back a long
I needed
way
the puzzle piece, man. Come on.
Thank you very much, Ape89, for the $50 donation. Shoutouts to Shoutout Master Spike Vegeta.
Yeah.
We made it.
Okay.
Wow.
Nice.
That was very good.
All right, I'm gonna let Cruncha explain a little bit about this snowball.
Okay, so for this snowball section, it's really difficult. You just jump.
So me and Cruncha have the top 2 times for this game. We've both died in this section before on really good runs. I think Cruncha still PB'd with it.
Yeah.
Literally a deathless run until that last.
There we go.
Yeah. That was scary. That was very scary.
Why did we clap for the auto scroll?
A real quick note, if anybody doesn't know, PB stands for personal best. That is any specific person's best time getting through any game.
Mm-hmm. This level coming up.
This is an absolute monster of a level. This is, again, whatever you want to say, I think it's the hardest level in the game. There's like 9 or 10 really, really specific things that you have to deal with in the level. Crunch has come up with some cool strats here. Shouts to Mumu Akai for being absolutely insane and coming up with some great strats in this level. Goldfish has the #2 time now behind Mumu.
By 0.02 seconds.
0.02. A lot of the ILs for this game are down to frame wars, so it's pretty crazy. So let's see what
Also
happens.
note, nothing we're gonna do is intended at all in
No.
this level.
Yeah.
I guess the biggest piece of tech to explain through this level, again, we're going to get momentum boosting off of moving platforms. This used to be a Dixie level because there was actually alternative ways to contain the momentum with her, but by pogoing, we're keeping that speed.
Yeah. And
We're going fast.
You go so fast that you can make huge jumps with Cranky's cane.
Oh my god.
So good.
Shoutouts to Cruncher here. By actually staying on the right side of this wheel, it actually starts this rope cycle a second faster, and you can actually just get to it in time. All right, coming up here is, in my opinion, the hardest trick in this level, so let's see what happens. It's off this second boost.
No.
Oh. That's okay. That, like I said, it's my opinion that is the hardest. You have to pogo off a very specific part of the top of that platform.
If you catch any part of it, you lose all your momentum, and it's very, very, very difficult to recover without dying. So he's going to give it another try.
Yeah, naturally we're doing it again.
Oh, no. Yeah.
Nice.
There we go.
Nice. Yeah, so good.
D-boost.
Yo.
Favorite strat in the game right here.
Wheel around.
That's a setup to where you don't ever have to grab those vines on the top of the ceiling right there.
This section's really sweet.
The fact that you can pogo off the snowflakes is why this level changed to a cranky level from a Dixie level.
For some reason, we didn't think you could. And then one day, NKB said I should go try it. And I did it. And I was like, NK, you can do it. He's like, no, you're lying.
Nice. Very good.
Very good.
That is another level really where a lot of us use like some pretty babby strats there. My strats probably lose 6-7 seconds there to Goldfish on like a minute 17 level, so, or minute 12 level, whatever it is. So yeah, pretty crazy. Good job, Goldfish.
Yep, that was good.
All right, so you might have noticed a theme throughout this game where we just keep saying like, used to be a Dixie level, used to be a Dixie level, used to be a Dixie level. This one's still a Dixie level. Although I think Crunch is thinking maybe. We have done everything we can to just nix her from the run, but yeah. So yeah, this is the level. It's got Dixie in it. It's not as cool as the cranky level, so yeah, you can go ahead. I guess the only thing to really note here is silhouette levels are really cool. Shoutouts to the art design for the newer Donkey Kong games. I love that aspect of these, so shouts to Retro Studios. But yeah, we can hand it off to a few donations until the end of the level.
Thank you very much, Zadarian, for your $50 donation. Good luck to all the runners. Been watching AGDQ since 2013, but this is the first time I've caught the live broadcast. My grandpa had prostate cancer, which was diagnosed at a very early stage, and the only thing left now is a little scar, so I have cancer research to thank for that. I'm glad that my favorite hobby has produced such a great community doing great things. Video games for life. Thank you very much, Dear Dragon, for your $50 donation. Hello AGDQ, thanks to everyone for your hard work and dedication this year. My dad was diagnosed with colon cancer over the holidays. It's been very hard for all of us, but it was detected early, and he's currently working to become cancer-free. We're all happy to support AGDQ in whatever way we can.
All right, so the very end of this level here, to explain how this works, the next platform shows up as soon as you touch a certain part. Like when you touch that platform, it makes this one come down, and then touching that part. So as long as you've played the video game, you know how to make the platform show up as early as possible. Also, yeah, this is kind of a dumb strat. Hold right!
Oh man, I messed it up.
Wait, why are you alive? Oh.
Oh, Chapo.
Oh.
Dumbest plug.
Yeah, dumbest plug. So you normally have to grab the grass and climb around that entire giant wheel section until the barrel comes out of the snow at the bottom. But it's already there already, so you can actually just walk off. It's set up so you just walk right off into the barrel.
So at that point, all he has to do is wait until the wall kind of moves out of the way, and then he can blast out of it. If he goes too early, to note, that barrel is a one-shot barrel, so then it's gone and it's impossible to beat the level after that. So yeah, that was found on like, again, it's so cool that we had access to the replays in this game on the Time Attack leaderboards, because stuff like that found out day one. So yeah, really, I think a game that was designed very well for speedrunning. All right, so this is another level. We're gonna play with Dixie, but this can be a cranky level also.
Yo! Yeah!
So what we just did there is called the Kong Pao. It kills like all the minor enemies on screen, so not including bosses. With Dixie, it gives you those gold hearts that give you an extra hit. So it's basically just a backup strat.
All right, so if you want to become a legend at this game, do this level with Cranky in an RTA at the very end of the run. As you can see, he's on cycle there. You can switch to him. Cruncha's the idiot who decided he was going to start using them. How much time you save there, Cruncha?
Perfectly, it saves 3/4 of a second to use.
Also, I say that idiot lovingly. This bounce is really dumb. If you screw it up, you die. Nice.
Good. Oh, man.
Oh, that
Oh
bop
my
off the
God.
walrus is real good.
Yeah.
He sets up that little section very, very well.
Oh,
That's okay. He
Yeah,
had the
next
bonus
round.
heart. That's why we conked Pound.
yeah.
He's going to take damage intentionally up here to skip an entire little electric vine section here. Yep, just get right onto that platform. That's the only section where you need Cranky, where Cranky can't make it faster than Dixie.
Nice.
That was good.
And say goodbye to Dixie for the rest of the run.
Yeah. And
And that's it for Dixie. Also, Diddy was over with like an hour ago. So shout outs to Diddy, our bad. Unless you're bad like me and use Diddy on the final boss. It actually is runner preference who you use on the final boss, but Cranky you've already got, so it doesn't really matter.
Cruncha actually figured out a while ago that you can increase the hitbox of the bosses, the last boss, using Cranky's cane. So in some ways it could make it easier. So some people prefer it for that reason.
All right, so Goldfish, what do you think of this level?
This is the absolute worst level in the game because the design is like it intentionally slows you down and you have to use Rambi.
Yeah, Rambi's not very good. So again, we're gonna switch back to Cranky here, and any of you who came in a little bit later, it's pretty subtle, you might not notice it, but we are forced to use Rambi throughout this entire segment, because like walls like that can only be broken with Rambi.
So you're gonna see that I'm gonna be pogoing as much as I can. Again, the same as the other Rambi levels where you lose 0.25-ish seconds
Every
to
time,
run.
yeah. Yeah, every time you start back up a run, then you are losing a quarter of a second. Might not seem like that big of a deal, but every time he pogos, think about that's a quarter of a second lost if you're not using Cranky. And once again, shout outs to David Wise and his amazing soundtrack for this game.
This song is really boss.
Shout outs to Snowmad's theme, or as I like to call it, the Nomad's theme.
The Nomad's theme. Nice. Wow, really
He
good.
pretty much did that frame per. If he missed it, it would have been bad news, Bears.
Good
Cool
pogo
straps.
section.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, so you see he had to wait a lot for falling platforms there, just standing and waiting.
oh my God.
Why would you ever do that?
Because it's faster, man. Sway in. Two.
Oh,
That's my bad.
Sorry.
So that's a good example of me wanting to go fast and the game just won't let me.
Yeah.
That's okay, I get to do that scary jump again.
Oh, great, yeah.
So, like, if you notice subtly here, you might notice on each of these jumps, each of the little startups for Rambi is kind of slow. Again, quarter of a second every time. That's why Cranky is real good for this level. Is that another IL you've got?
Not anymore.
Okay. Moomoo's got that one, all right. Oh,
Let's
good.
not press anything.
Also, Rambi's adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to wait a really long time for those to get out, and everybody messes that up very commonly.
Yeah.
So we were playing Smash Bros before this, and according to the scale of that game, Rambi's like twice the size of Bowser, so that's pretty sick. Because Donkey's actually bigger than Bowser in that game. All right.
So I just wanted to give shout outs to the fact that we're up to max viewership of about 115,000 viewers, which beats out the max viewership from last year, AGDQ 2014, which was at 110K, and we're just getting started, so.
That's huge.
So 115,000 people watch me die because I pressed a button by accident. Whoops.
So many unfollows in that moment. All right, so final boss. Who wants to take final boss? Who wants to explain how this idiot works? All right. So
Nobody likes Frederick. You can take it, Spike.
all right, Lord Frederick. So the way I equate this boss to another speedrunning boss is it's kind of like Bowser throws at the end of Mario 64. It's an inherently really simple thing you have to do. You just gotta throw him in 3 bombs and the game's over. Like, it's whatever. You do it a million times. You gotta jump on this dude's head like 9 times, which watching it, you might think that it looks pretty easy. However, his hitbox is deceptively smaller than it looks like. His shoulder pads or his shoulder blades is really where you need to hit him. Like, because his hitbox kind of curves away from there, and you miss him a lot. So any miss on him wastes like 1 minute because you have to go through an entire another cycle with him. So you want to get all 3 hits on all 3 phases. Also, a little bit of RNG here, we think. Sure. It's random how many times he'll jump there.
So something to note, you'll notice that he threw the one animal very, very quickly. That's trying for what we call early throws, where you basically toss it, the first one, and hope that he just accidentally hits it. It also has a chance of triggering that little like teeter-totter animation where he kind of walks over to the left, which is much faster than him continuing to do the 7 or 8 jumps.
The ice dash dancing.
But he doesn't go for it on this one because the penguins spawn very, very far away from him. He will go for it on the 1st and 3rd cycles. Ooh.
Oh, yeah,
okay.
Back up.
Good. Nice.
All right, so for each of the hits, the 1st through 4th hits, he moves pretty slow, including this one. This 5th hit, he's going to move at a medium speed, and you're dealing with ice physics this entire time. And then on this hit and the final 3.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
Yeah, that's, if you kind of notice there, that's how dumb that hitbox is.
Yeah, he moves a lot faster on those runs,
Yeah.
so it makes it much harder.
And to note, every time you miss that's about a 40-second time loss if you miss that hit. It's very easy because you're fighting those ice physics and trying to get yourself into the perfect position. So it's very, very finicky.
Yeah, it's another one of these bosses that takes a long time casually. Like, took me days to beat this guy the first time.
This is also, again, we do weekly races, and so many races have been lost because people miss these final hits. Michael Goldfish is actually pretty good at not missing them in our races and doing what we call scoops. We'll be leading Goldfish, the world record holder, for like the entire race, and we'll miss like 8 hits here, and he'll slip right in and take 1st place.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay.
So as you can see, he had to
now.
go through that entire extra phase because he missed the 6th hit there.
So right here, he's going to shoot all these platforms up. There are 3 or so different patterns. We're looking for a specific one, which he didn't get. We call it the Piss Your Pants RNG because all of the platforms just fall from left to right very, very quickly.
Yeah.
So it saves a stupid amount of time. It's like 3 or 4 seconds.
It's 5 seconds if he gives you bad RNG there. So again, this game is not like super terrible about RNG. It's still kind of odd that in a game with, so again, shout outs to Retro for making a really good speed game, but why are there these like super random, stupid pieces of RNG in our levels? Anyways, going on. You guys did good. So.
Also, we're going to get ready on time after...
so yeah, get ready on time. It's coming up here pretty soon.
His final punch animation.
Yeah, it's not on the last hit.
It's not on the last bop, it's on the punch. You'll know, it's the punch every boss takes.
So just like the 6th hit, these last 3 hits he's going to be moving very fast. Again, still dealing with ice physics, so...
One good thing about the last cycle is that you do lose the ice physics. This is actually the least punching cycle.
1.
Also, I need to jump a bit earlier on this one, otherwise he doesn't do a 9th run.
Nice.
And time.
Nice. What was it?
I split a little early.
We did it.
1:35. Seems good. What was the time? Yo, 1:35. That's
Yeah,
sick.
that's fine.
Better than my PB.
So should we quit out and show off? I think we should.
Yeah, you should.
Okay.
You should try. Yeah.
So our estimate's 142. We're gonna skip the credits real quick. While he's reloading it, I just want to throw out a little Easter egg out there. In the credits of this game, near the very end, there's a saxophone. It's really, really good, and it's actually done by David Wise. So yeah. Shouts to David Wise, who just all of his soundtracks have been amazing over the years. I'm glad he came back to do this series.
I thought my Wii froze. I was super panicking.
Showing off.
Yeah.
So yeah, Goldfish, if you want to explain what you're going to try to do here.
Yeah, so for Frantic Fields 3-3, that tornado strat I didn't get, I'm going to try to get it, just because.
It looks really cool.
I'm going to add one thing real quick. In 100%, we actually would skip the credits just like that to get to the... Because you have to do some levels after you beat the final boss in 100%. So this is actually... We found out that this is actually a lot faster than the credits. The credits are quite long, actually. Very good music during them, though.
Right.
Just thank God it saves when the credits start, not when the credits end.
Oh, that'd be terrible.
Yeah, oh man.
Also, I guess to note about 100%, both Michael Goldfish and Cruncha here, who have the top 2 any percent times, and maybe myself, who I've got the number 3 time, we're thinking about going into 100% right after this, which adds about an hour 15 probably to the time of the run. You would beat all 63 levels and collect all the Kong letters. By the in-game definition of what 100% is, you don't collect the puzzle pieces. However, Goldfish wants to do a puzzle piece category.
I do.
So.
The only one crazy enough.
Yeah.
So if I have Diddy right now, you're gonna have to player 2 add him in.
Sure.
This load's awful.
Clouds.
Oh no, we do have Cranky. Cool.
Oh, we got Tranks.
Dang it. This co-op run was going to be sick.
Okay, so I'm just gonna see if I can get this a few times.
This is the strat, yeah.
Again, this is by far the hardest trick in the entire game.
Yeah.
Any percent, 100%.
And probably the
puzzle
biggest
piece.
time saver as well.
Yeah.
Saves like 15 seconds if you get the full thing. And you go through the level extremely fast using momentum.
It's almost blind too, where you really can't see ahead of you. You have to know, you have to get a very good read for how you're getting
those
through the
low
level,
times.
and then you have to adjust accordingly.
And even getting through the tornado gives you different amounts of speed, and you have to adjust your bounces according to that too, which is extremely hard. Here we go.
There we go.
All right, here we go.
Don't think this is fast enough, but we'll see.
No.
No.
That's still pretty
That's
good.
still half of the do-si-do.
This tornado is the killer too.
So this NATO we lovingly call bitch-nado. If you get to it, if you do not go into it at the perfect angle, it'll just kill your speed. You'll clip the platform in front of it. It'll knock you below the platform and kill you afterwards.
Yeah.
Getting up to that tornado saves about 5 seconds. If you get the full thing, it's 15 seconds. I don't think anyone's actually gotten it in an RTA. Am I wrong?
I've been really close. I've gotten past Bitchnado into the win section, but then I lost Cranky.
Yeah, it's super duper duper hard. So.
How long did it take you to do this for the first time again?
First time I did this, it took me like 8 hours, so it's pretty cool.
Yeah. That's good speed.
No, it wasn't there. That's okay.
Again,
That's
there's
all right,
like 8 different kinds of speed you can get out of that, and he can adjust for almost all of them up until that tornado, and then he's pretty much got to have the perfect speed to nail it.
Thank you very much, Claire Sable 5, for the $50 donation. This is my second year in a row attending AGDQ. I'm very fortunate to be a part of such a great event and be able to meet and hang out with such awesome people. Keep doing what you're doing, and I look forward to coming every year for many years to come. Thank you very much, Luciano V3, for your $50 donation. Hi guys, love you, bye.
Also, the reason I'm not doing this in the time trial, where I'd just be able to press restart right away, is you don't start with Cranky in the time trial, so the whole setup for the beginning is different. We have hope.
This is a very good
this
speed.
is super speed.
Oh my god. This is it. Yo! Nice! Oh, man.
It's not over.
Oh! Oh! That was so good.
That was like 85% of it.
That was
still
awesome.
awesome.
That was great, yeah. Good stuff. That was awesome. Yeah.
Oh my God.
That was awesome.
You do realize you're insane, right?
It was
That is so hard
That's
to get.
extremely hard. Getting past Bitchnado was great.
And again, this guy's got the IL world record for this, or the individual level world record.
I think
so
you have like second or third. Mumu is like really high up there as well.
Yeah, I have third with like a 119, like 12 seconds behind.
It's yeah.
So should we do our thing, or do you want me to try to get the full dozy-do?
that's up to you.
Do we have time for full dozy-dos?
This is probably your last attempt if you're gonna
Okay.
do it. So yeah, go ahead and, yeah.
One more.
Thank you very much, Hallie Mike, for your $100 donation. Greetings from Canada. My aunt is currently battling bowel cancer, so I really appreciate what you guys are doing. Also enjoying this DK Tropical Freeze run.
Make it count.
That's it.
All right, last try.
Watch me get no speed.
So right here, he's actually, this will show off the barrels from the shop a little bit. So you see right there, he didn't start with Cranky, but since he equipped the barrel beforehand, he ended up having Cranky at the beginning.
Yeah, no speed.
All right, good last
Nothing.
attempt.
Yeah. Sometimes you just get nothing. So
Yeah.
So that's Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. We're the Dawn Closet.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad we
it.
get to
Come
start
start
off
playing the
AGDQ.
game. Play weeklies with us. It's fun.
Yeah,
So-
weeklies every Thursday, 11 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah. So thank you
That's it.
so much. I want to give a big shout out to Mike Uyama. I hope you start to feel better, buddy. Thanks for giving us the honor of starting off AGDQ 2015. That's super cool. And get hype. I believe it's Wario Land 4 coming up.
Yeah.
So,
Good luck, Green Bean.
yeah.
Green bean, yeah. Sick.
Yep.
Just a reminder, you are watching Awesome Games Done Quick 2015. Awesome Games Done Quick is a Games Done Quick event held every year in January, featuring members of the Speed Demos Archive and Speedruns Live communities.